Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again for another video. If you are new, please make sure to like, subscribe, do that business, helps the channel. Comment down below as well. We're trying to get 1K or about 400 away, so let's move to that. Plenty of football to talk about. We're going to quickly touch on Conte. I know it was last week, but Conte's time at Spurs, I don't know what that guy is. It almost sounds like he wanted to get sacked. His post-match interview after the game when they lost to Burnley last week sounded like, yeah, I'm going to speak to the board and hope that they get rid of me. He didn't sound like he wanted to be there. It's a tough job there. I think Kulusevski is good. He's a great sign. I think Bentancur has been good. I think the defense, though, and Harry Kane got into a little bit of form against Man City as well. I think the defense is their biggest issue. And we know how Conte likes to play, likes to set up his team. Without a good defense, it can get exposed. And their defense really is not great. So I think maybe I'd like to see him stay for longer because I think Conte is unbelievable. I think it's just going to be better for the competition the longer Conte is there, and he makes Tottenham better. But I would not be surprised, and I think it's a must, that the next transfer window, if Conte is still there, you have to go hard for defenders. Fullbacks, centre-backs, goalkeeper. Hugo Lloris, you've been poor, but he's a World Cup winner and everyone sort of ignores it. And Lloris is meant to be one of the star Tottenham players. Lloris has been very poor. Very, very poor. Who's that next goalkeeper that's got to come in? We look at Liverpool. They've got Callejo off the bench and he can do a job in a cup final. You look at Chelsea, and I know it's banter, whatever, but they've got Kepa who can come off the bench and all that sort of stuff. United's got Dean Henderson. A lot of these clubs have got at least a second keeper that can sort of come off. Tottenham, though, besides Hugo Lloris, they really haven't had anyone that's been able to sort of show them something. Then we've got to touch on to the breaking news that's come out today as of recording this, but whatever you're watching this, Leeds appoint Jesse Marsch, the new goalkeeper. Jesse Marsch, however you say his name, the American manager. He had his time at New York Red Bulls. He did really well there. Then he went to Leipzig and also Salzburg. I think Leipzig was his last club. New manager for Leeds, similar sort of football and style, not the same Bielsa effect, but I'm going to have a video coming out about Bielsa very soon. I think it's an interesting one, but similar sort of attacking football. It's not going to be a massive shock to the system. You're not replacing Bielsa for a Antonio Conte as of such or Jose Mourinho as of such, but I think it'll be interesting. Leeds apparently have been keeping an eye on him for a while. I think Bielsa, it's disappointing to see him gone because Leeds fans absolutely love him. He's got to go down as a Leeds icon, Leeds legend. Got them back to the Premier League. What he did with this Leeds team, it's unbelievable. And I think they made maybe the right choice. Let's not push it out too far. Leeds avoiding relegation. Relegation battle is hot and it's alive. So I think they made the right choice. We don't have to extend it out. We don't have to push it out for all this long. It's clearly not going well. Let's keep it on happy terms and let's finish it up. Injuries have sort of really, really tainted their season this year, Leeds, but what more can we do? Now, the top four race, it's a race that I don't know who's winning. Some people keep on slowing down. They've dropped the banner and no one really wants to get it. But you're looking at the teams here, and I've chosen Chelsea, Man United, West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Wolves. So from 3rd to 8th, all in the battle. There's 3 points difference. Chelsea got a couple games in hand. Arsenal got a couple games in hand. Tottenham have a couple games in hand. United and West Ham have played the most. But I'm including Chelsea in there because Chelsea are only 3 points ahead of United. I know I've got games in hand, but it is what it is. Now, looking at the hardest draw, I'm going to show you the teams that have the hardest draw and the easiest draw. The hardest draw, I think, is without a doubt Manchester United. You've got Man City coming up, Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester, and Everton. Now, I know Everton maybe, they're obviously not of the greatest strengths, but they've got to be semi-difficult. Frank Lampard, Leicester City, okay, again, not a team that's having a great season, but you have to be on your best to beat them. Liverpool, obviously, we know how good they are. Tottenham, Antonio Conte just can pull results whenever he like. And Man City, we know they're the reigning champions at the top of the league. So you look at Man United, and that draw, the next 5 is not good. Our easiest run was the last sort of 10 games where we got points, but we should have got a lot more. We almost, on paper, United shouldn't have lost any game this last a month or 2 months. Okay, now I know you've got to drop points here and there, but it really shouldn't have been a lot better. I don't think we prepared ourselves that well for the final end of the season. It's just under 10, 9, 8 games. It's going to be very, very interesting who can push in that long. Champions League games comes into play. United obviously got that 1-1 draw against Atletico Madrid in the first leg of the round of 16. We've got the second leg coming up very soon in a couple of weeks. You've got West Ham also on 45 points. Their draw is okay. They should win some. They might lose some. They've got Europa League coming up as well. So how long can personally? I'm surprised they've stayed up this high for this long of the season. But maybe how long can West Ham sort of squad their striker? Is it going to be an issue coming into the later end of the seasons where you need sometimes just to score these goals and flake out a victory? You've got Arsenal, and a lot of people think Arsenal are the team that are going to make it. I still don't really think they will. I think they will finish fifth. I think they've had a great season for Arsenal standards, but there's also a possibility they drop seventh or eighth, and then we look at that and say, okay, this was meant to be an unbelievable year for Arsenal, but what's happened? Is it like let's rethink about it and not get caught up in the hype? Okay, so I think Arsenal could definitely push for fourth. I think Chelsea have got that third position. I think they've got the easiest draw as well with Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich, Brentford, and Southampton coming up. I think Chelsea should do pretty well. Okay, they had the League Cup as well the other day, which obviously they didn't win, but they still played quite well. You know, in parts of the game, I don't think that will really struggle. I think third position will go to Chelsea. But who breaks in this top four? I think personally, I'll wipe out Wolves. I think Wolves have had a great season. They've flown under the radar. I think they can still definitely challenge for it because they're one of the few that aren't, like Arsenal, like Tottenham, that aren't in any of these other tournaments. So I think they've got a full squad. I think their squad has been excellent this season. I think the new striker, Hwang Hee-chan, sorry if I butchered his name, he's been fantastic. Raul Jimenez, he's been great, but just hasn't been able to score these goals. Lack of finishing has caused him some issues sometimes. I think Wolves might sneak up into 7th or 6th, but I think they're going to still be around there, but I don't see them pushing for 4th. Tottenham, on the other hand, as I mentioned previously about Antonio Conte in the first half of the show, the defense is a massive issue. Heung-min Son, fantastic. Harry Kane, he can give you a goal here or there. He hasn't had his great seasons on his standards, but he can give you a goal. Kulusevski, I think, is a fantastic player and a fantastic player that I think will only get better as the season goes on. I just look at that defense, and I think Tottenham are one of the teams that are more, as we saw last week against Burnley, they're more likely to drop points as opposed to maybe a Chelsea or a Man United. Yeah, the Man United-Tottenham game will be huge. If Tottenham can beat Manchester United, they're all guns blazing for top 4. Who knows what could happen? But then you've got Arsenal as well, where Arsenal, I think they could push for it. But they're still, in my head, I've still just got Arsenal they're still missing something. They're still missing something. They had to scrape that win the other week. Lacazette scoring last minute against Wolves, which was a fantastic game. But at the end of the day, champion teams and teams that are progressing, they end up getting these results. Liverpool aren't winning every single game, with ease, but Man City aren't winning every single game 5-0. Okay, sometimes you have to play a little bit ugly and get these last-minute victories, but ultimately get the results. But I look at Arsenal, and the way I'm sort of going around it is, which of these teams can I see dropping more unnecessary points? Now, to be honest, most of these teams probably could, especially Man United. But coming into the later end of the stages, I see Man United knocking off some of the bigger teams and more likely to knock off some of the bigger teams as opposed to Tottenham or as opposed to Arsenal, as opposed to West Ham. I think Man United's next 5 games, as I mentioned previously, Man City, Tottenham, Liverpool, Leicester, Everton. I see us beating Everton. I think we can beat Leicester. And I think it all depends on one of these 3, Tottenham, Liverpool, Man City. We lose to Liverpool. We should beat Tottenham. I think we draw to Tottenham, but I've got us to beat Man City. Now, I'm going to talk about that game in more depth later on in the video, but this weekend we've also got Liverpool versus West Ham. So another huge game for the top 4 race, but also for the title race. So this weekend, it's a huge, huge weekend of football. I'm excited. It's so good, okay? Because Man United win, they've done well for the race. They also open the gates for Liverpool to come and catch Man City. Liverpool beat West Ham. You know what I'm saying? They're there. They are there. They are there and they're loud. West Ham beat Liverpool. It's a game that they're not expected to win. They've just got themselves another 3 points. Man United lose to Man City. Hey, West Ham going into that top 4 position. And that's insane. West Ham could be playing Champions League football. So I personally think, basing on the reason and the fact that I think Man United will be able to get results in games where I don't think they're expected to win and be less likely to drop silly results later on in the season, which I know we've done a lot this year. But comparing them to the teams like Tottenham and Wolves and West Ham, I think later on in the season where you need your stars to show and you need a bit more squad depth, I think that's how Man United will prevail. So I think United will get fourth position. I think United's biggest threat to that fourth position is Arsenal and West Ham. I'm not really counting in Tottenham. I know maybe Antonio Conte, I think he can still do wonders for them. I do expect Tottenham to push for it, but I don't think, and I think that Burnley loss as well, I don't think they really have got that defensive stability to really make a serious push. If they do make top four, we're going to look at that front three, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane and Kulusevski, as a genuine title threat for next season. I said it. We'll leave it at that. I think if Tottenham have a great end of the season and push into top four, it's going to be purely down to Kulusevski, Harry Kane, and Heung-min Son. And that's going to get everybody so keen for next year. If they can fix their defense, Tottenham could build a serious squad, and especially with a manager like Antonio Conte. So, ladies and gentlemen, leave it in the comments down below. Who do you think will make the top four? Am I right in saying Man United? Am I being biased? Who do you think is the biggest threat? If you're an Arsenal fan, do you genuinely think you guys have got the right consistency and the perfect ability to break in that top four? Chelsea fans, do you see yourself maybe dropping down to fourth? You're not as clear as they are. I know there's games in hand, but you're not as clear and safe as I think what some of you think you are. But that's all right. And as I mentioned before, those are my top four predictions. But as I mentioned before, we've got some belter Premier League games coming up this weekend. We've got Liverpool versus West Ham. What this game can do for the title race is nuts. Now, let's take a look at the ladder. Let's real quick take a look at the ladder. And it's unbelievable because Man City are on 66 points. Liverpool are on 60 points. 6 points separating them, okay? Liverpool have got a game in hand. Liverpool beat West Ham. They got a 63. Man United beat Man City, which is my personal prediction. I think Man United can beat Man City. I think it's good. I might be. Last time I was this confident about Man United being a big team, it was against Liverpool last year. And it's a game we lost, 5-0, 6-0. So it could probably happen again, but that's okay. Liverpool beat West Ham, 3 points behind. Man United beat Man City, 3 points behind. It could be, and Liverpool has a game in hand. It could be a massive weekend in the long run of this. Liverpool fans, you'll be thanking Man United. Trust me. You hate us now, but you'll be thanking us. Trust me. I'm confident on it. I'm confident. Why am I confident on it? Oh man, it's not good, but we'll get there. I think West Ham will take it to Liverpool. I think Liverpool, they could be on a Carabao Cup high. You know, maybe they drank too much Carabao and they're a little bit gassy, a little bit excited, a little bit still in the moment. But I think Liverpool, they're a champion team. We know how good of a manager Jurgen Klopp is. I think they come back to Anfield, strictly business. I think they beat West Ham. Then we're going to look at another match, which once again is huge for the top four race, but also the relegation race. Tottenham versus Everton. You're looking at two clubs where it's been such a strange season. You look at Everton, who were pretty unlucky against Man City. Man City should have had a handball on Rodri. Again, VAR. Seriously, pull your shit together. But Everton, unlucky to not to get really the result. They played well. Frank Lampard's doing some stuff there. Donny van de Beek getting minutes, which as a United fan, you love to see. But they're up against Tottenham, and Tottenham are going to make sure they want to rebound well. A disappointing and horrible loss to Burnley last week. Tottenham they have Everton at home. I think Tottenham will get the victory, but I think this will be a great game. I think I can say, actually, you know what? I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. I think this will be quite a good game for the neutrals. I think Frank Lampard will be confident in taking it to Conte, but I think Tottenham, Kulusevski, is a baller, and he's doing well for them. So I think Kulusevski can be the difference. Now, let's go progress to the Manchester derby, a huge Manchester derby. Man City weren't that great against Everton. You know, they were good, but they weren't great. And as I mentioned before, these champion teams, sometimes this is how you get results. You get results in ways where it's not pretty, but you end up finding a way. Yes, they got lucky because they should have considered a handball, but Man City, they're a champion team. They know what to do. Man United, on the other hand, somehow, once again, we didn't get a result against Watford. We had so many chances, and where reports are coming out that Ralf Rangnick is losing patience with Ronaldo. I think it's quite clear what our next signing needs to be. Besides that holding midfielder, because Matic played well against Watford, and it just makes it so clear that when we have that holding midfielder there and it can do a good job, it makes the whole team better. It made Rafael Varane better. It made Lindelof better. It gave the fullbacks ability to attack a little bit more as well. And I know we were playing Watford, but it also gave, Pogba a bit of that free license to roam as well. So I think it's so important that we sign that holding midfielder, but also a striker. And when I say a striker, I mean a genuine striker. Not the likes of not these new strikers who can play left wing and right wing and center attack and mid. I want a number 9. I want a Lewandowski, a striker like Lewandowski, where he's not going to play on the wing. Play him through the middle as a target man and let him finish. You look at Vlahovic, how well he's doing at Juventus, a similar sort of player. You look at Haaland. Is Haaland possibly on the radar for Man United? I'd love to take him. There's a talks of Jonathan David, also possibly, and Alexander Isak from Real Sociedad. We know Arsenal have been linked to him for quite a long time. A striker like that is someone that I really think Man United need to get. And I know you're saying, oh, Ronaldo was meant to come and sue, whatever. Yeah, cool. He's 37 years old, okay? He's still going to be crucial for us. But I think Rashford's role in the middle has sort of gone. And I think it's so crucial. And I think evidence shows that Man United need that number 9 striker, that goal scorer. I think it's one of the most important positions now for Man United to fix. So how I see this game going deep down, I do see Man City winning. I think it's quite clear. But Man United, we do okay against Man City and at Etihad as well. I think Man United actually might get a result. I think maybe a 2-1 win. I think Fred will be the difference. I know you probably think I'm talking nonsense, but Fred has been good the last couple of weeks. He's been good. He comes on with energy. Yeah, he comes on with energy, and I like it. I'm a Fred fan. Yes, he turns the ball over, but so does everybody. I'm a Fred fan, okay? I love it. We keep doing what we're doing, and we're going good, okay? Let me know what you think down below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another 1 Nil show. I know it's been a little while. Got the 1 Nil FC games on as well. Plenty of stuff to do. Please, again, like and subscribe. Do that business. I'm going to see you guys next week. Deuces.